Good morning from Riga Business School. My name is Claudio Rivera. I am director of the bachelor program, and I will be joined by Paula Elksne, that is our BBA and BITL program deputy. Hi, Paula. Welcome from Riga Business School. We would have loved to see you here, but in the current context, that was the safest thing to do. And the first thing, we would like to wish you and your family the best for these very difficult times where we are living. Stay safe, stay healthy. We also want to tell you that Riga Business School has been preparing for these circumstances, and we haven't really stopped serving our students. So they are as busy, or probably even busier, than they used to be when they were coming to the campus. So the RBS is fully serving our students. All our activities continue to go, and also the admission process will stay as initially planned, and probably we will even be adding much more services to our community. So feel in that sense, you can feel at peace that Riga Business School is fully operative, and we will be delivering the programs as originally expected. So that's, I think, very good news, and thanks also this to the technology that is available right now, and that's part of what we actually want to communicate to you, that this is a spirit of Riga Business School, that is a spirit of working hard, of studying hard, but also of a community. We love the campus, but the community goes beyond the campus, and we even stay united even when now we are not physically together.
And just maybe to add to that, so if you have any questions during the presentation, you can ask them in the chat, and our colleagues will just let us know what the questions are, and we will respond to them. So don't hesitate to ask anything that you have in your mind at any point, and we will respond to that.
Good. A little bit of the plan for today. So I will introduce briefly RBS, not much, because it's not the main objective of the session, just a reminder why RBS is so great. And then one of our faculty members, Anita Gaila, she will talk about the relevance of the Silicon Valley Challenge. And then Paula Elksne will go a little bit more into the details of the admission process. So how you need to sign up, how you have to participate in the Silicon Valley Challenge, and also she's gonna explain what happens if due to the restrictions, the Silicon Valley Challenge will not take place, and then what we are gonna do in its replacement. And finally, we are gonna have the student experience as well. During that, they will tell you how was to take part of the Silicon Valley Challenge as well. Okay, about the RBS culture, and more important than my picture is the mission of the school. So we educate managers, so we educate people that are gonna be responsible of projects, of bringing businesses together, of managing very difficult times as well, like the ones where we are currently. So we need very strong managers that actually can make things happen. So what we are seeing now with the COVID-19 crisis is that those companies that are going to succeed are those companies that has the strongest management, and we are very proud that many of the many of the companies that are better prepared in this country and in other countries are led by our graduates. The second one is that those managers are managers that are not only they don't only care about the process, how they lead their organization, but also to do the right thing. And this is the difference between a manager and a leader, right? And so we don't only train our graduates to do things in the right way, but we also train our graduates to do the right thing. And this is important, that especially in very difficult times, that they know what is the right thing to do. And for example, now during the COVID-19 crisis, so it's very important for the organization that they don't only take care that their companies stay in business, but also what happened with the well-being of their employees. So what happened with the well-being of the employees' families? What happened with the with Latvian sustainability? What happened with Latvian future, etc. So this is what we try to do, that our graduates are not only people that take care of the organization, but also take care of the society as a whole. So we are looking especially at the prosperity of the Baltic region. So we have very strong roots in the whole Baltic region, meaning not only the Baltic states, but also the Nordic countries. And we have been very much involved with the Norwegian business community, and we will continue to do that in the future. So these four sort of key words define the culture of RBS. The first one is self-efficacy. Probably that's a word you might not know, but when you will come to RBS, we will work around this very closely. But that, in very simple words, that means the can-win mentality. Yeah? So we can do things. So it's the you can call it also like confidence. So self-confidence. So I am confident I can do things. So during the RBS time, during your time in Riga Business School, so we are going to try to help you to build your confidence, that you can do a lot of things for you, for your family, for your business, for your society. So to have that mindset, so the mindset, the winner's mindset, right? So and we work with that. We do it always because we trust on you. So and because we trust you, we are very demanding. So we put a lot of very demanding assignments, objectives, and then you go growing on your self-efficacy. The second one is international experience. That in RBS is pretty natural because everything happened in a foreign language, in English. But besides that, more than 50% of the faculty is foreign faculty. All our faculty members have a substantial experience abroad. Either they have graduated internationally in universities abroad, or they have been working for long in multinational companies. We have many international students as well. We basically use all the materials and content from the best business universities in the world. We have dual degrees with BI and the University of New York. So is the whole thing is like being abroad but staying in Latvia. The third one is a strong network. It's a very powerful network of people, starting from our graduates, around 2,000 right now. Most of them are in top senior positions, very committed to the school. They will be opening your doors first to you, then to the other ones. Then it's a very strong community inside the school, and and that helps you in your future work prospects. And the fourth element is it's an amazing community. It's really fun to be here. So I think all of us, students and faculty and administration, are missing the campus these days. But and that's a good signal, really, that people really feel at home in RBS, and that's a very important part of RBS. So the business life is difficult, it's very competitive, so it's very important that you also feel at home and you have friends doing your business time. And now I think I will hand over the floor to Anita. I'm not sure, Anita, do you hear me?
Anita has a pre-recorded lecture.
Welcome to Riga Business School. My name is Anita Gaila and I'm lecturer for Human Resource Management and Career Coaching. These two subjects put together employers and employees. At school we definitely talk about the potential. We see what are the young students and their wishes for the future, what work they expect to do in the future, and we also meet the requirement of employers and see what their needs are. So we've together created Silicon Valley Challenge. This is the place where you can learn about your capabilities and see maybe yourself from the angle and eyes of employers, as we have invited our community members, employers, to participate and share their recruitment strategies during our admission process. What we are looking for in the Silicon Valley Challenge. First of all, what we want to set out is the IQ, or intellectual abilities of anybody applying there. So you will be tested for your knowledge, your point of view, your worldview, and how good you are at putting things together. So the next one is honesty. It's something nowadays to be very crucial, because if you are not honest, it's quite hard to be transparent and want to be visible all the time. But today's competitiveness in the labor market asks you to be very seeable and very actually marketable. So in case you are not presenting who you are, it might be quite hard to be competitive in the long run. Leadership skills, definitely. What you would expect from the business school. We expect everybody to be a great leader and at least to be able and start with managing yourself. Team building and working in a team. It's very hard to see any success nowadays where you just did it by your own. Usually there is a number of people participating and making it all together. For example, this presentation. There are at least 5 people pulling it together, and there's just one person speaking up. Curiosity. So nowadays everything is changing so fast that what was right yesterday, it might not work anymore tomorrow. So be curious. Cultural awareness. We are coming from different cultures, and we are learning about the different cultures. And it's not about just the nationality. It's also about just the mental models and way of thinking different people prefer. And we just have to be aware that viewpoints and people might be very different. Energy level, we will talk about it later also, but we all like to work with positive people full of energy who are inspiring others and themselves. And social responsibility. This is one of the key topics of the school, that business is not about just making a big money or having a good reputation. It's really about the ability to make a great social impact. And this is what we expect everybody to do here from the day first. And I'm happy to be here already for the 8th year, and I'm making my impact on lecturing to people who are our future leaders. So, how to be successful in the Silicon Valley Challenge, where you will be meeting different people, different employers, where you will be showing your best. And we have some tips already put together. So we know that to be successful, you have to master something, whatever it is. You have to be in the right time, in the right place, and actually you have to show up. And what we know for sure that also in the business, to be successful in business, it is about the exchange. We give each other something and then we expect something in return. At school, we know that what we will give to you is the world-class knowledge, competitive business education, great career perspectives, the best friends, and high self-esteem. It's quite a lot. And we really want to learn what we will be getting in return. So, what are you selling? So, what is your exchange items? And Silicon Valley Challenge is built up so we can learn at most possible about you. And we believe that you will find and maybe become more self-aware by yourself after completing these 3 hours there. So, yes, Silicon Valley Challenge takes a time. So it will be about 3 hours during which you will be really observed. And there will be no smartphones. It's just really about being yourself. So be at your best. And coming to these success items. So as I've said, that the first thing is to be master at something. And to master something, we know that you have to do a thing for 10,000 hours. Then everybody knows that, yes, you are great at it. And here in Riga Business School, you can study either for 3 or 4 years, which in average makes 8 hours per day. This is actually including weekends also, and all holidays. So it's really hard, and it's really important that you like this thing, that you like the business, that you like the environment, so that you can really dedicate all this time and energy for the studies. Being in the right place in the right time. So it's April 18th at 11 here at Riga Business School, which is on School Street 11. And yeah, show up. It's actually, I recently participated in the one board election where somebody just got a place in the board because he showed up. So show up and your place here will be secured. Thank you and good luck.
So we see that 47 of you are watching at the moment, so that's really good. We're happy. There are no questions yet, so if you have any, don't hesitate to ask. We will be super happy to respond to them. But then going on to, I might want to say that the most important part of the day about the admission process. So those of you who have been to our open doors days, you've probably seen this slide already, but we just wanted to remind you again, what is the ideal candidate for RBS? So what is that we're looking for in our students? And actually, we will go in to most of these things also when we will talk about Silicon Valley Challenge further on. So we are looking for students who have very high intelligence. So good grades is one thing. Probably if you started the admission process, you already know that we are looking for quite high grades, but we also want the practical intelligence, not only theoretical. So we want you to know how to apply your knowledge, where you can use it. Only good grades is not really very useful if you don't know where you can use this knowledge that you have. We're looking for students who have integrity, that really do what they say and they follow up on their words. We look for leaders and also team players, so it's important to know when to lead a team and when to follow a leader, and also being a good leader is actually being a good team player. We look for students who have good cultural awareness, those who are really curious, people who want to know things, they want to explore, they are interested, they have their topics that really spark their eyes. So yeah, we look for people who have intense curiosity. High energy levels, as Claudio said in the beginning, even in these times we're really keeping our students busy. So we need people who really have the energy to study a lot, to do many things on the side as well. So yeah, people with a lot of energy. And then people who are responsible. We really emphasize here at RBS that we need to take responsibility of the things that we are doing, and that we really have to be aware of the decisions that we are making. So anything to add? No? Okay. So going on about the application process. So again, you've probably seen this slide already. So there are a few things that you have to send in to apply to RBS. So one is the application form and your extracurricular activities. Then the high school diploma and grade transcript. a personal statement, also known as a motivation letter, then 2 recommendation letters, then the English language test, Toefl or Ielts tests. Those are really important for us because, as you know, everything happens in English here, so we have to know that you will be able to study and perform in English. And then, of course, Silicon Valley Challenge, that's actually the main topic of the day, and we will get to that in a second. And you have to submit your application till the 9th of April. You can do it electronically. There is no need for you to come to RBS at this point. Actually, you can't come to RBS at this point. We are functioning fully virtually. So you can send in everything electronically by the 9th of April.
Maybe clarification, what happens if they cannot get the signature for the recommendation letters? Could they submit anyway the recommendation letter without it?
Yeah, you can submit it now without the signature, and then once you can get the signature, you can send it in with the signature, or even if it's not for you possible to get the recommendation letter at the moment, you can also send in your application without it, and then just add the recommendation letters once you can do it, probably after the April 14th, or let's see. So we added some details and some tips for some parts of the application process that might be useful for you. So for the application form, the really simple thing is just that fill out all needed information. There are many things that we're asking from you. Please just fill it all out. Of course, if you will forget something, we will just ask you to fill it in, but it would be really helpful if you do it all in once. Then the BBA and BITL programs do have different application forms. It doesn't mean that you will not be able to switch the programs afterwards, but initially we need to know to which one you are applying, because BITL program is a cooperation between RTU and LU as well, so they will need to see your data. So if you're applying to BITL program, please fill out the application form for that program. So about the extracurricular activities, you can send in all your diplomas, extra achievements, Olympiads, anything you've done that is more than just studying since the grade 9. So we want to see all your achievements. Everything that you are proud of, just send it in. Then you have to submit the last transcript you have. So the guideline says that you have to submit high school diploma and transcript, so you will be able to give us the high school diploma in July. But now you just have to submit the last grade transcript that you got in December. Then we get a lot of questions about recommendation letters. So whom you should ask to give them to you, what is the best strategy there. So what we suggest is that you ask recommendation letters from those people who really know you, from those people who can actually say something about you that is meaningful, maybe a teacher who has known you for a whole 12 years, maybe a teacher who seen you grow in some subject. So someone who really can build on what you are saying about yourself in your motivation letter, and also, someone that can say something special about you. And then the motivation letter, we like to say that that's the best place where to create your brand, so to say. We really want to get to know your personality, so try to show it from the best angle in the motivation letter, and try to think about something really special about you that maybe others will not have, and that we will remember you by. So the motivation letter together with the recommendation letters is this perfect your personal brand building opportunity. So think carefully what you want to talk about in these things. Yeah? Okay. So then about Toefl and Ielts tests, that also it's our requirement that you have to take one of those. So some of you have taken it already, so good job on that. But those who have not, there is no need to worry. At this point, you can just submit your application without it, and you will be able to take it at RBS once the emergency situation is over. So we will organize many tests in April, May, probably. Let's see how situation develops. So there is no need to worry if you didn't take it yet. It's okay. You will be able to take it, and we will organize many so all of you can take it for free at RBS.
So, we will check your English in the interview, in the Silicon Valley Challenge or the interview, and also we see your grades in the transcript. We have been admitting a lot of people from a lot of schools, so we know how the school grade you, how assess you in English. So you don't have to worry. This is why, given the emergency situation, so we are not really requiring to have the Toefl at this moment or Ielts. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then about Silicon Valley Challenge. So at the moment it's planned on April 18th. As you know, there is a lot of uncertainty, so we can't tell you exactly what will happen. But most likely we are thinking that at that day, we will just have a limited amount of interviews for those students who need to know their admission results early. And the length of one interview will be at least 40 minutes, so it's really an extensive interview. And we will be testing the same skills and qualities that we are testing in the Silicon Valley Challenge. But then later on, we will announce the date when the real Silicon Valley Challenge, so to say, will take place, and there everything stays as before. So it's approximately 3 hours long, maybe a bit more. There are several tasks from the top companies in Latvia. So there are tasks that we, RBS, created, and then there are tasks that the companies created together with us. So we see it as the best mix how to test you for getting into RBS, because actually you're getting tested by us, the academic side, and also by the requirements that the industry believes are important. So that's the best way how to be admitted to the school, already knowing that also the industry believes your skills are valuable.
So, and just that you be sure, in case, and I hope no, but in case the emergency situation goes beyond 14th and people cannot come, you cannot come to Riga Business School, we will do it using our technology. So we have the technology to do it virtually, to do it online. I mean the interview, of course. We have done that in the past, so we know how to do it. So 18 April be available for the interview or the Silicon Valley Challenge. That is going to happen. Okay.
Yeah, so definitely save the date. Yeah. Okay, so going more into Silicon Valley Challenge and the interview. So in either of those, we will be testing these 8 skills and characteristics: IQ, curiosity, honesty, cultural awareness, leadership, energy level, team building, and social responsibility. So I already touched upon few of them, but now we will go into more details of what you really have to think about and what you have to know how to do to really show us that you have this skill. Because we believe that all of you do have these skills, and we want to give you some tips what is the best way how to show that you do have them. So we split this in kind of 3 blocks. So what you have to know about what you have to think and what you have to be able to do, so we know that you have this ability or skill. So IQ, so it's basically your knowledge, your intellectual capabilities. So of course you learned for at least 12 years and more, and you know many things. But there are just some topics that we pointed out for you that maybe you didn't think about so much previously, that we advise you to just check before the Silicon Valley Challenge or the interview that will be helpful. So you can review the hot topics in politics at the moment. So just what's going on, so you're aware. What are the top 10 business leaders in the world right now, for example? So just know some companies, some CEOs, some business leaders. Some must-know facts about history, famous artists, for example, and of course your knowledge from the school. So it's kind of the general knowledge that we also want to test, and we want to know that you're interested in the world and know what's going on in the world, pretty much. And the think and do pillars, it's really just think and think fast when it comes to IQ. Yeah. Anything?
Now you can listen to me. So you can practice at home reading, for example, an article that has been published during these days about a specific problem, like the COVID-19 crisis, and then trying to analyze what does it mean, for example, for Latvia, what does it mean for the Latvian future, what does it mean for the Latvian businesses. That's a typical question we might do, and we might try to understand whether you have the capacity to connect dots between problems and the current problems of the future, and potential causes of the problem, and how, for example, in the case of the COVID-19, why some businesses might be more successful than others during that crisis.
Then the curiosity, as mentioned before, it's about how much interest do you have, and also how you approach things that you are trying to do, and how you approach problems that you are trying to solve. So you have to know, or you can, this is one of the things that we might ask you. Of course, yeah, you have to look at these lists and these things, that these are suggestions. It's not that we will definitely ask you these things, and it also doesn't mean that we won't ask you different things. We will definitely ask you different things. So this is just a guideline, so you understand how we are approaching these characteristics and understand it better. So yeah, about curiosity, you have to know what are the innovative ways of learning, and how do you learn in innovative ways, and maybe you can suggest it to others. So actually, we here at RBS believe that this time is really pushing the boundaries of innovative learning, so probably all of you would have something to say on that. So think about, have you ever solved a problem that others couldn't? Just have some examples in your mind. And think about topics that spark your interest. We really look for people who care for anything, so to say. So whatever is that interests you, we just want to know about it. So be ready to explain what is your passion, so to say. And what we will in Silicon Valley challenge, so it goes in a way that you are doing many things and there are many tasks, and we are observing you in all of them and also in between them. So pretty much it's like a huge 3-4 hour interview. So you are being observed all the time. So we will check if you always think through problems, how you select strategies, and how you are looking for the ways to solve problems. And what is also important to add is that these also are all things that are important to be successful while studying at RBS afterwards, because these things are really what we ask in every class, actually. We have really project-based studying, and how to solve problems, how to look for strategies. It's relevant every day here at RBS, so it's super important.
So, and by the way, you can exercise curiosity now and make questions. We know many of you are watching, so that to take advantage and be curious and make us some question if you want at any point of time. Our colleagues are telling us that there are questions, so that we will answer at the end of the presentation. Okay.
Yeah, but keep asking.
Be also patient. Okay.
Yeah, we're eager to understand what we didn't tell you and what you want to know. Okay, what did I do? Okay. It's good. Okay, then honesty. It's also very, very important here at RBS. And what we want to know what we want you to know is why actually honesty and transparency is a big topic nowadays. We want you to think about it. So why we actually care about this. So we want you to know the answer why this is important. About something that you have to think about, we would like you to be able to describe an unpopular decision that you made recently or at any point. And what was the result of that? How did your thinking process go? How did you decide to actually do this thing? What was your approach to the problem? And we want you to see that you're able to maximize the available time, use clear and organized language, that you look professional once you come to the Silicon Valley Challenge or the interview, and that you show attention to details, because details definitely do matter. The devil is in the details, so to say. The next one is cultural awareness. As it was explained in the beginning, and as you have probably noticed if you follow us on our social media or if you've been to one of our open days, that we have really international environment here. Therefore, cultural awareness is super important. So one of the things that you could know is what are the main cultural norms in other cultures that shape the behavior there. What is different? Yeah, just think about it, know it. One other thing is that you could think about a situation where you had to sell your idea to the group, and it was really hard to do it. And then we want you to explain your thinking pattern. How did you do it? What was your strategy about it? What was your thinking pattern? And then we check if you have positive attitude. That is really important. That you have self-control also in stressful situations and situations that you're not used to. That you have good personal presentation. That it's just nice to be around you. And that you have already traits of lifelong learning. It might seem like a phrase that's not really relevant for you at the moment because you've been learning for whole your life at the moment. 12 years in school and kindergarten before, and now you're coming to the university. But we are checking for the traits that show that you will keep on learning also once you graduate, and that you will always be curious and you will always be interested in what's going on in the world.
Yeah, when we talk about cultural awareness, it's not only being aware of other nationalities and other cultures that are from other countries, but also that you are able to deal with people that are different. They have a different mindset. They have a different background, and that you are able to work with them and to hang out with them. You are able to team up with them, right? So that for your future, that is very important because now we are becoming more and more global, right?
Yeah. So we will touch upon teamwork later on as well, but we could say that cultural awareness is a basis of successful teamwork, one of the principles. Then leadership. This is very important for us. We talk about it a lot. This is one of, I think, Claudio's favorite topics, right? So we want you to know to be able to talk about some of the existing leadership experience that you have. And it doesn't necessarily have to be big. It can be an event you organized for your school or for your class. It can be even an initiative that you took in your family to organize something together, to do something that you usually don't do. So it doesn't have to be nation scale, something super crazy big, but it has to be something where you took initiative and you wanted to make a change. So think about these experiences that you have. And if you really can think of anything, probably you're not thinking hard enough, because we believe that everyone who is applying to RBS really has this leader potential in them. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be attracted to us. But if you really can think of something, then this is the right moment to do something also that you will be proud about sharing afterwards. Then think about what is a great leader from your perspective. Maybe you have some examples. Some colleagues are laughing. Someone that you have in mind that you would want to be alike to. And then what we will be checking that if you're doing, if you are able to make others follow you, to follow your idea, if you naturally take the leadership role. So in the Silicon Valley Challenge, there will be a lot of teamwork. And it is easy to see who's really speaking up, who can sell their idea, and who can make the team move forward. And that you're always optimistic. People like to follow others who have an idea of a bright future in mind.
what is key here, what we try to see whether you are able to take responsibility of the things that are going on. If, you know, like in this moment in the crisis, there are you have those people that are observing and they don't take responsibility and they don't try to really think how they can contribute. But you have many people that are the ones that are gonna get us out of this crisis, and are those people that really take responsibility over their actions about their company, families. So we want to see how you have taken responsibility of things that happen at home, in the school, or wherever else. I mean, as Paula said, it shouldn't not necessarily be something really big, but that you really care about what is going on around you.
Then the energy level. Again, as mentioned before, at RBS you have to study, and you have to study a lot. And on top of that, we really encourage social activities. We have student union here at RBS, and we really encourage them to organize many events, take initiative, and we really highly value students who do take part there and who contribute to the community. So building on that, we want you to know what skills are valued in the job market. So what is important at the moment? We want you to think about how do you usually demonstrate your skills, what skills you usually have, what skills you do have, and how you demonstrate them. And are you able to demonstrate them even when you're tired, even when you're stressed, even when it's a really uncomfortable situation and the environment you've never been in? So all these things. And then what we will check, that if you are on time, so with the Silicon Valley Challenge, there will be many, many tasks. So it will be easy to check how you follow up on things and are you able to be at the place where you're supposed to be. If you demonstrate proactivity, that goes together very well with the leadership as well, if you're able to take charge. And also, which doesn't sound that it really goes in line, but if you also follow instructions, so you have to know how to follow instructions and be proactive at the same time. So it's a good combination to have. Yeah. Team building. So it is very important at RBS. If you ask our students, most of the tasks they have in class are in teams. Every course has at least one big team assignment, one big team project. And the beginning, in the first year, students are struggling a bit because it requires many, many skills to actually organize teamwork. Firstly, you have to be aware of the people that you are in team with. You have to be able to communicate with them. It isn't always so easy because everyone has their opinion and you have to be able to align to move forward together. Then even things like meeting times, how are you organizing your work? So it is a lot in the beginning, but then they become excellent by the end, and then we hear from the employers that really RBS students are the ones who make difference in teamwork. They know how to work in teams, they know how to listen to other people, and they know how to organize teamwork in an efficient way. So this is something that we already want to test in the admissions process to see early on if you have these skills. So we want you to know what are the building blocks of good teamwork. We already mentioned a few here, but maybe you have something else in mind. We want you to think about how do you cooperate with others? How do you make others happy in the corporation, so to say? How do you organize teamwork? We want to check if you are self-confident. And again, it goes together with the leadership. We want you to be self-aware and accept the responsibility that you have for your choices and that you have for others. Because when you're in a team, if you're really pushing your opinion, you have to be aware that if the team accepts this decision, it's a team decision, but still it's also your responsibility because you were the one initiating the idea. So we want you to really be self-aware about how you are acting in a team.
One comment, you start to see that the skills we are asking you are the skills that the job market, the employers will need from you when you finish the school, or what you are going to need if you want to start up your own business, right? We know that you won't come, nobody comes with all these skills developed. Actually, you are going to work on these skills here. What we want to see is that you have seeds of these skills, element of these skills already, and that at least you have the willingness to acquire those skills for both, for the BBA program, for the BETL program, right? Because that's the big difference RBS graduates are doing and why they are so successful afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. And then I think we are moving towards the end. Then one more skill, characteristic, even kind of a side of your personality, I might say, that we are testing is social responsibility. We are, I think, really special with how much we emphasize social responsibility here at RBS, and this is something I'm personally very proud of. We are really talking about how business can make a positive difference, and it means a lot to us. We even have a social projects course, and we have social initiatives integrated in many other courses as well, so we are really showing our students that it is possible to use the business tools also in different settings, in settings that can really leave a positive impact for the society. So we want to know, do you have any volunteering experience? And we want you to be able to really talk about that and reflect on that. What did you do? What did you learn? Why did you choose to join this specific organization or initiative? That's important for us. We want you to think and be able to connect your interests and the things you're doing with the larger context. How the things you're doing at the moment matters in the long term. We want to know what trust means to you and how do you build trust. And again, we want to see that you are able and willing to take responsibility for others.
So people that come here come with a broad range of interests and ideals and dreams, and we will respect your interests. So we are not going to impose your any interest or any ideal. But what we want to see that there is a spark there, that when you come here, there is something you want to do, something you want to leave an impact into the society, something you really care about, because otherwise it's difficult to be here in RBS. It's a community that is that we try to excel, we try to change the society, we try to make businesses to flourish and make money. So a lot of ambitions here, and that's why we want to see that really there is a spark inside you, and we will respect and we will cultivate that.
Okay, so we went through all 8 skills. So these are the skills and qualities that we will test in Silicon Valley Challenge and also in the interview. Of course, the setting is a little bit different, but to either of which one you're going, be sure that you think about these things that we mentioned. Maybe you explore these topics a little bit more, because definitely we have a long list, and we just gave you a glimpse, so you understand better how we really are thinking about these skills and qualities.
So there is written June the 10th for the admission results, but also there will be an early admission committee, right? So we will
so we as probably we will have to organize a Silicon Valley Challenge later, most likely. Then the general, so to say, admission and scholarship results will be on the June 10th. But if you need the results earlier, for example, anyways, if there is any reason why you do need the results of acceptance earlier, we will not be able to give you the results for scholarships earlier than the June 10th, but we will be able to give you the admission result earlier. So if you need it, that's the good reason why to apply for the interviews on the 18th of April, and just let us know that you need this result in May as it was previously planned.
In any case, our staff will be communicating individually with each one of you because we understand that in these circumstances there might be maybe the standard plans don't fit everybody. So we will be really communicating as we are doing already. So with each one of you so that we really fit your plans. And yeah, and now we have questions probably.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, we'll have the emails on later as well. But yeah, you can always write to admissions@rbs, and your all questions will get answered. And we will, in this case, try to also align, our agenda with yours. And we have one more slide, and then we will go to questions, and then we will still have the student experience. Okay, so about the scholarships, so just re-emphasizing what are the opportunities for you. There is one more thing that is not up there at the moment, is this Learn Business Camp, but that's a chance for students in the spring, in the autumn. So those who are in 12th grade at the moment, that's gone. So we took it off, but if someone from the 11th grade is watching, don't worry, it still exists. So there are RBS Excellence Scholarships for BBA program and the Finance and IT Industry Scholarship that in a way functions the same as the Excellence Scholarship for BBA program. So these are scholarships for the students with the best academic performance and best performance in the Silicon Valley Challenge or the interview. Then we have Rbs Basketball Scholarship, which is together with Latvijas Jaunatnes Basketball Liga, right? You have to have at least 5 years of experience playing with them, and then you have to reach out to your coach to write a recommendation letter. And if you have any questions, detailed questions on this, you can either ask us or ask your coach. And then the Student Union Scholarship, which is available once you get admitted. So for the most active students, they can get a 50% 50% tuition waiver, and it's actually possible for more than one semester. So even if you don't get a scholarship on the admission, you can still get it later on with your active participation in studies. Okay, so do we do student experience now, or do we do questions now? Student experience. Questions? Student experience. Okay, so we do student experience. Probably you will have more questions afterwards, and then we do questions. So it will just take a minute to switch, change the technology, because we will be using Zoom, so our students are at home. We have 3 second-year students who all took part in the Silicon Valley Challenge already 2 years ago, and they will just let you know how it was for them, what is the experience, and maybe they will give some tips for you. Yeah?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
So
Can you hear us?
Ansis, Roberts, and Bruno.
Okay. Hello, guys. Oh, hello, Ansis.
Hi, Ansis. So can you maybe start with sharing your experience with Silicon Valley Challenge? How was it? What was hard? What was easy? What would you suggest?
Well, basically, I could only suggest that you need to be honest and just be nice in general. And it will be kind of better if you do it in that way, because eventually people will find out that you're just faking it and it ain't gonna good for you in the point scale. And also the fact that you'll be most probably studying with the people who you meet in the Silicon Valley Challenge. So if you're kind of being a douche to them, then well, you ain't gonna have no fun in the next 3 years. So just be nice, follow the rules, and don't stress out too much, because like you can't learn it for the challenge beforehand. So you can try to like practice and stuff, but like in general, you cannot be actually ready for it. And yeah, just follow the suggestions that Claudio and Claudio said.
Francis, fantastic. So honesty and be nice and follow the rules. Excellent.
Okay.
We have more people, yeah?
Yeah. Robert, maybe you?
Hi, Robert.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Very nice
Where
background.
are you? Where
Wow. Lovely.
Okay, we have optimistic
I
Robert.
tried to hide my background so you don't know where I am.
So maybe
So-
from your experience.
Sorry?
So maybe you can share your experience with Silicon Valley Challenge, some tips and tricks.
Of course. So, yeah, for me it was kind of interesting because I think we were the first year who actually had the Silicon Valley Challenge. So basically we had zero expectations. What will it be? So it was maybe a bit even more interesting for us than it will be for the next years. But yeah, one thing that I would suggest is just don't get scared. And even if you like, we will try to test you in different ways. So just do your best and don't be scared or don't be discouraged because it's normal to like not know what to do, and it's completely natural to just want to freak out at some times, but just keep your calm and just do your best basically, and then like it will be probably good because like you can like I guess we can't tell you anything about what might be there, but like you can guess probably some things that will likely be in a Silicon Valley Challenge. Like you will probably have to talk, you will probably have to know something. So I'm not sure how much I can tell, so I'm not gonna speak too much about that.
Very specific.
Okay, yeah, so basically you will have to talk. So if you're not comfortable with people, I don't know, have some practice, go talk to your mom or something in this quarantine time. Ask her to ask you some very tricky questions that you don't know answers to and see how you respond. Just get comfortable with people because that will be a large part of the Silicon Valley Challenge, is just being around people, talking to people, and yeah, it'll be all right. Just don't get scared.
Thank you, Robert. Fantastic.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You can also try calling people, because I know that some people are afraid to call, for example, for the doctors and stuff. I don't really know why, but some are. And you can practice just calling, I don't know, places where you can get information. You don't need to prank them. I'm not saying that. Just generally get the feeling that you're talking and trying to like figure out something, getting over your barrier. That I think that Robert said that too.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Practicing
it's another
communication.
way how to deal with it.
Yeah,
Practicing
that's a good tip.
That's
yeah.
an excellent tip. Yeah. Thank you.
And
We
Bruno?
have Bruno.
Yeah. Well, my colleagues said a lot of the stuff I
Wow.
wanted to say as well, but well,
Next
yeah,
amazing background.
it's true. It's true that you have to be honest and you don't have to be scared because you will have to talk with people not only in the Silicon Valley Challenge, but after when you're in school and even in the business world. You won't be a good businessman if you don't know how to talk to other people. So that's definitely a very important thing. And yeah, so the next 3 years for you will be very interesting. So don't stress out now because you will have 3 years to do that. And but think about yourself. How do you present yourself to others? Like because your self-image will be one of the like good points that we will look at. Yeah.
I could also add
So you
one
look
more
like
thing.
the big brother from there, right? Yeah. Who is?
So one thing I did is my Silicon Valley Challenge, which I think actually helped me a lot, is when you enter, because like there will be multiple tasks, and when you enter a specific task or you have to do something, think about not only what they tell you to do, but think about what are they testing here, like what are they trying to get it from you, because like if they ask you to, I don't know, fold some origami flower, they probably don't care about how beautiful the flower is, they care about other things. So when you're actually at Silicon Valley Challenge, think about what are they trying to test here? Like, what do they need from me? And then you can fake it a little bit.
Is that even when the exercise look unreasonable, there is some reason behind it.
Of course, yes. we're always trying to test something.
That's also
Cool.
actually a very, very good tip.
Excellent tips. Excellent.
Yeah.
Have you taught something about the test part?
Ansis,
Ansi, you're already revealing
you are
too
crossing
much.
the red line, and we will sweep
Ah,
you
okay,
off
okay.
if you continue.
So, any more tips that are not too specific? I mean, we got communication. That was the main point. The ways how we can test, how you can train your communication, honesty. Then the fact that you can actually think beyond what you're doing. So, what's the meaning of the task and what we are actually testing? And while maybe the guys are thinking if they have anything else to say, I can just add the fact that when they are saying what we will test, it actually means that they will actually that they will be a part of the testing. So in the Silicon Valley Challenge, it's the administration and the faculty, but also the students who are involved in the whole process. So it's kind of the community testing you, not only few people that you see here.
That's a very good point, because it's the community. So you are welcome into the RBS community. Of course, Paul and Claudio have to like you, but it's not only Paul and Claudio. So it's everybody. Everybody say yes to this, and so you can start looking for these people in Facebook and try to befriend them.
Be nice to them, yeah.
Be nice to them.
Okay, anything else that you want to add? Ansi, Bruno, Robert?
Just get some sleep beforehand so you feel actually nice in the actual challenge.
That's
Yeah,
good
and wear
energy
something
level.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Comfortable but elegant, okay?
Yeah, otherwise you're gonna be like, thinking about your clothes and stuff and how uncomfortable your shoes are instead of actually doing something. And try to eat breakfast beforehand because you might get hungry through the challenge.
There are no breaks.
Well, no, yeah, no.
Yeah.
RBS style, right? RBS style.
Yeah, I know that.
Are you guys studying these days or not?
Yeah, we're studying. Today is free. But yesterday we had lectures and everything just switched online within one day, so there's no need to worry about Rbs actually changing because they managed to switch to online lectures. I think even on the exact day, because masters had online lectures when the announcement was made straight on. And
bachelor, I think it started Friday afternoon, I think.
Yeah, that's really good. So you don't need to worry about how LBS is managing things because they're doing it very efficiently.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, guys. Hope to see you in presence soon.
Yeah, we miss you already. Enjoy your day off. Bye.
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 Bye. Maybe we have questions now.
Yeah.
So don't leave us, the guys that are watching. Yeah. So how do we pick the question, Leila or Ines or? Okay. In general, requirements for international students. So, yeah, the requirements are exactly the same. Okay. So I'm sorry. So the question is whether for international students the requirements are the same that for the Latvian students. The answer is yes, because everything here is international, so it doesn't matter whether you are Latvian or not. That means that if you, regarding the Silicon Valley Challenge, if you cannot come here on that day, that by the way, that might be the case also for the Latvian students this year. So what we do is an online interview that covers all these topics. That is going to be 40 minutes long, as Paula already explained, and we have been doing that since we started 8 years ago, the bachelor programs. So that means that all the requirements are the same, and some international students decide to come for the Silicon Valley Challenge, but many actually do the interview. That is a long interview that covers all these aspects that Paula already explained. Yeah. Did I answer the question? Yeah. Okay.
Anything else?
Okay. Okay, so we have also the question for international students about TOEFL and Ielts. So Paula, maybe you can explain a little bit.
Yeah, so basically it stays kind of the same as here with Latvians. So you can submit the application without the TOEFL or Ielts at the moment. And once the tests are available, because we know that there are many countries that you just cannot take these tests at the moment because of the circumstances that the world is in. But once you can take it and send us the results, right? Yeah,
the main
so
criteria will be the interview, and we have ways how to. Don't worry if the situation extends. So we will find a solution for that as well. And even in the very worst case scenario, hopefully that doesn't happen, that the situation extends beyond summer. All classes will be online, and so we will be operating fully both the admission process and the program. So you don't have to worry. This is not going to disrupt the Rbs bachelor programs and master programs. Yeah. Okay.
So the question is the TOEFL on the 28th of March happening? No. All TOEFL tests are cancelled till the 14th of April at least. We will see how it goes. And Layla, our admissions manager, she will call each of you who has applied to TOEFL tests, and then just arrange a new date when we will know when the dates are available. But don't worry about that. You will have the opportunity to take the test. Yeah? Yeah, and then until the 14th of April, everything, all tests that you have to be here at RBS to take them, they're cancelled. So until 14th, everything is cancelled. Individually, new dates will be figured out.
Stay calm. These are extraordinary circumstances. So the school is really working that everything continues smooth. So stay calm on all these issues. Yeah. So the question is whether the math exam, that is the central exam, math exam, is taken into account for the VITAL program. The answer is yes. However, for the admission process itself, we only look at your transcript grades, the transcript grades that you have from 11th grade and from the first semester of the 12th grade. So then, based on that, we already take the admission decision. And when you have the central exam result and you have already the certificate, then you will submit it at due time. But that doesn't really affect your admission because the school look at your transcript grades, 11th grade and 12th grade, and they are very good predictors of your central exam performance. Yeah, very good question. So there is a question about whether it's necessary any previous IT experience in order to be admitted in VITAL. Answer to that question is very simple: no. So you for being admitted in both programs, BBA and VITAL, you need to have good grades and good performance in mathematics and English. So IT, the VITAL program is prepared in a way that really is ready for those people that have no experience in IT to people that have experience in IT. So at this moment, most of the graduates from high school, they have some level of experience in IT anyway. But if you look at the best IT programs in the world, to the ones that we are emulating, like Harvard or Buffalo, so they really depart with the assumption that you don't have any IT background, and then we go adapting to the different levels during the first year especially, and there is a moment that all of you level up to the level we need. Okay, that's a tough one. So the question is to whom we suggest BBA program, to whom we suggest Beetle. Before I answer to that question, I want to remind what already Paula said, that those that join BBA will be able to switch to Beetle, and those that join Beetle will be able to switch to BBA during the RBS studies, because you might make up your mind during the studies. So, but those people that are more for Beetle are those people that feel much more technology interest, that they really feel that they would like to be in connection with programming work, that is not only that they will be overseeing IT projects, that they will not only have some sort of overall interest in technology, but these are people that also wants to get and understand the technology, how the technology works, that they will like to be programming, that they would like to be coding, that they would like to put their hands into the technology, so that and that's why I think it's a good thing if you, in order for you to choose, if you can take any type of online course, from the Khan Academy or other that are available online, and try to see if you feel really that you like to be coding, because even though Beetle students are prepared to lead coders, they will need to know how to code, and they will be coding during the study process. So that's why I think it's a more personal question to you. That is, if you really like coding, then Beetle probably is more for you. If you really don't feel comfortable coding, you don't like it really, so then spending time on doing that, then probably BBA is more for you. Now, it's true that people coming to the BBA, they also will need to learn how to code. So we have also programming in BBA, but it is much less than those students that go into the Beetle program. Did I answer the question properly?
Yeah, I think you did. Maybe just to add on that, so the BBA program, so Bachelor of Business Administration, so there are the core courses, and then there are electives with which you can kind of move the program in the direction that you want more. So if you choose the marketing or entrepreneurship, it will be more qualitative soft skills, I can say so. And then if you choose finance, it will still be very quantitative, also the BBA program. So you have to like math also in the BBA program, and you have to be willing to work with numbers. You will have a lot of accounting, finance. So in both programs, you have to be good with numbers. But I can quite surely say that in Beetle program you have to like numbers more than in BBA program, because it is more quantitative. You will have more math classes, as Claudio was telling, coding, so you really have to be a person who likes to work with numbers, solve problems in a mathematical perspective.
In Beetle program, you will be programming from day number 1. Okay, in the BBA program, you will face programming in the 4th semester. So that's there will be an option to do programming as well in the BBA program earlier, but that is an option. So in one is optional, and in the other is obligatory.
Yeah. So if you don't like numbers too much, then just think about it.
So the question is about the language of the documents. Okay, so in which language you have to submit the admission documents. So the application form should be in English, okay, and maybe you can check me, and then all the recommendation letters can be in English, Latvian, and Russian language, okay, and the official documents like the transcript should be translated into English and notarized. Did I answer?
That's for international
Only
students.
for international students.
Yeah.
Only for international.
So Latvians can submit their documents as they are. So in Latvian, it's fine. You don't need to do anything extra. For international students, we will need you to translate the documents, and they need to be authorized with the yeah. So we know that that's all good.
Okay, the question is what is the connection between companies and the students, right? But the second part of the question I didn't get it with. Okay, if they sponsor trip to Buffalo. Okay, so the connection between companies and RBS is huge, as you might understand. So that all our graduates are working in leading businesses, small, middle, and big companies. So they certainly are all the time requesting our students for internships and also for jobs when they graduate. Many companies are providing scholarships that are some of the scholarships that already Paula mentioned. Student can go and work in those companies, but they also can choose another company. So it's not obligatory for the students to go to those companies. We have many companies coming to campus through guest lectures or career fair or through different type of initiatives. So you will meet a lot of companies during the 3 years or 4 years in RBS. Now, regarding sponsorship of trips, I haven't seen that case happening. So we certainly, our companies welcome students to visit them and to go with them, but I haven't seen really companies paying for trips. What we have is the Baltic American Freedom Foundation that is a partner of Riga Business School, and many of our graduates have gone for a year after graduation to do an internship in the United States, and it has been sponsored by the Baltic American Freedom Foundation. Yeah.
And maybe just to build on the cooperation between companies and RBS, Claudia already mentioned, but just a little bit more. Actually, we have a lot of integration in the courses with the companies. So there are a lot of projects that companies provides the students that to do, case studies, some specific problems that the students help them to solve. We even have full course integrations with some companies, like for example in international business course this year, students really helped the IT clusters, so it was a really big integration. So actually here at RBS from the day one, you will feel the connection with the industry throughout all the fairs that were mentioned already, but also through the daily work, daily studies in your courses.
Okay, we got a question about recommendation letter, whether we need to translate them into English. Paula?
So Latvian, Russian, and English is acceptable. Any other languages we might not know. Yeah, if you're an international student, don't send us in Moldovan or
If it is Spanish or Italian, I can read that. Okay.
yeah. So, but
I
in
might face difficulties in other languages.
Yeah, so in general, we accept Latvian, Russian, and English. So if it's Latvian, don't translate it. We obviously speak Latvian, but any other language, please do translate.
So that's an excellent question. So we got that. Okay, we explain all the skills that we will want to observe, but the challenge really is not. I mean, it's not so clear how the challenge will look like. I think it's a very fair question, and certainly we don't explain much the details. It could be a little bit disappointing for you that is like that. So it's a little bit of a mystery of how that happens, because we also try to see how you can react to unexpected tasks. Okay, and that's why we also don't explain the details. Now, you as some of our students have already said, expect to be asked a lot of questions, and expect some question that could be expected, and many questions will be completely unexpected, where you will need to use some of these skills, or you can expect also some sort of exercises where you will need to solve either individually or in team, and then you will be tested not too much on the result of the exercise, but on how you behave in the team. I'm not sure I am being so clear, but I don't want to be much
No,
clear.
I think that's really enough. So there will be individual work, there will be teamwork. So we don't want you to know more. If you will think about the questions that we told you to think about today, you will be fine. And as the students said, just don't get too scared. It's nothing scary, nothing crazy. You've done these things before. If you haven't done these things before, you have skills to do these things. So don't be scared. It's fine.
How many students get admitted? That's our 1 million euros question, I could say. So we will admit up to 120 students, up to 120, split between both programs, meaning no more than 60 for the BBA, no more than 60 for the Beetle program. So that's the very max number of students. And from the board of directors of the school, the principle is very clear. So if we have 10 students that fit RBS, we only admit 10 students that fit RBS, but we will not admit more than 60 students for each program. Very good. So online application, do you want to remind? So we
I mean,
we are
online
asked
application, you can apply just by sending in the documents to the email.
online.
Right? Yeah. So this admissions at rbs.lv is the email. So just send your application to that, and no need to come to RBS.
So about lectures online, in case the emergency situation continues, as we are operating right now, you will not feel it really much. Instead of having physical classroom, you will have a virtual classroom. Okay, so the schedule of the school continues as it was. So we start at 9, we finish at 6 p.m. And the professor and you will be from home with your camera on and your platform. So everything will be set up by us, and so you won't feel it. So the assignments continue with the current deadlines or with the future deadlines if it is the next semester, and there is full interaction with students, and you can present and you can work in teams through that platform. So basically, of course, we would like that you will come here, and I hope that is going to happen. But in case it doesn't happen, so the virtual campus work is fully operative at this moment. There are no more questions. I think this is going to be available, I guess, online, so people can watch. You can watch it later. Again, from my side and from RBS side and from all the team, we encourage you to follow the recommendations that your governments are giving for. We have one more question before we say bye. Okay, the question is a question we get always, that what is the acceptance rate, and the answer is very clear. We never say it. So this is that's something. This is a number we don't indicate because it doesn't really reflect on the school quality or the school perception, etc. So what we really say is the dropout rate, and this is where I recommend you to really, when you choose a university, if you choose us or choose another one, the most important quality indicator is the dropout rate, meaning how many students that finish the university and finish in a reasonable time, and that is less than 10% at this moment, where the average between the average in higher education, the average in the in higher education in the world is 30%, and so we are performing as good as the best universities in the world at this moment in dropout rate. So that is the most important quality indicator. That means that we are admitting the right people, and that also we are following up on them properly. Because if you are a good student, it is all up to us. So how do we really manage the study process that you can really perform? So if you are a good student when you come here, so it's mainly our responsibility that you really finish properly and you can go into the job market. Do we have one more question, or I can say bye? Okay, again, from our side, keep healthy. All the very best to you and to your family during this time. I hope you will continue being enthusiastic, and also you will be engaged with your studies, the study you have now, and engaged with the Rbs Business School as well. And we also recommend you to follow all the indications. So you see that Paula and I are respecting the 2 meters. That is what we have been requested by the Latvian government. So the famous now social distancing, and so we keep following up on the government indications in whichever countries you are, and all the best, and looking forward to see you here. Yeah.
And if you have any questions that come to your mind after this, don't hesitate to reach out to us in any of the platforms, social media, email. We are always very, very happy to get in touch with you, and hopefully see you in August already here at RBS.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.